Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Perfect, thank you. Mother Nature's done a nice job of warming the engine up for us, which is appreciated. These old radial engines, they don't necessarily like the cold so much. I'm gonna mess with my radio here.
They got that camera thing on there?
There we go, now I can hear you.
You got that camera thing?
It's on.
Oh, cool.
We actually have 3 cameras on this airplane.
Oh, cool. Oh, I see one.
There's one there, there's one on the wing back there, and I think maybe the best one is on the tail. So basically, Ryan, what I'm going to be doing today is as you're going through all your maneuvers, I am the movie producer. I'm back here toggling through the different camera angles, which I think is pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and start our there we go. Let's go ahead and start our pre-takeoff checklist.
I'm assuming you have this?
No, you got it. Go ahead. I just wanted to make sure the engine wasn't going to quit.
Okay.
Once it gets a little warmer, it doesn't really have an issue, but when it's at idle, it does when it's cold. Okay, what we're going to do here is our pre-takeoff checklist. You've been taught, and I'm sure you always use a checklist. That's extremely important, except in an airplane like this. The last thing you want to do is bring a checklist with you because it's going to blow away.
Right.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the word cigar. All right, C-I-G-A-R as an acronym. Every letter means something. So let's go ahead and go through that here together.
Okay.
And by the way, if you ever fly like a Champ or a Cub, I mean, an airplane with very few systems, the cigar thing would always work very well on it as well.
Okay.
C is for controls, and so if you don't mind, just go ahead and grab the stick, put your feet on those pedals, move that stick to the left, to the right, front to the back, and you're checking for freedom of movement of the controls. If something doesn't work, we want to figure it out right now.
I agree.
How's it feel?
Good.
All right. We will call that good. I is for instruments, your altimeter. Just set it at 0. We're starting here, we're coming back here. We'll just take all the mathematics out of the equation, which sounds crazy. Mathematics out of the equation. Airspeed's at 0. Looks like the little ball's out to the left a little bit. That actually has to work. It's centrifugal. Your VSI, top left, tells us what we did about 4 seconds ago. Who cares?
My VSI is top right.
I'm sorry?
My VSI is top right.
Oh, and I'm sorry, the little needle, mine's a little bit below the 0.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's top right. I'm sorry. So, you know, the idea is here today is to look outside at the horizon. That'll kind of tell you what you're doing, like you do on your airplane. Your tachometer, I know the needle's bouncing around a little bit, but maybe 750 RPM.
Yep.
Oil pressure's in the green, and our oil temperature's coming up. We need at least 30 degrees centigrade before we depart.
Okay.
Won't take long. We got a little bit more than 3 gallons of oil in this thing, so it takes a while to warm it up. G is gasoline, right above your head. That little glass tube, little bobber. If I move the airplane around,
that's your fuel gauge?
There's my fuel gauge. You can see the bobber moving. So each quarter tank is an hour of flight time. So an hour, 2 hours, some change, 2.5 hours.
Not bad.
Mixture is inside on the left, all the way forward.
And that's at full ridge?
Yep, and then right ahead of that is your fuel valve. It's either on or it's off.
It's on.
You can see that it's on. A is accessories. Your elevator trim tab is underneath the throttle on the left-hand side. Now here, keep this in mind, you're more than welcome to retrim the airplane on our flight today.
Okay.
However, we have 2 trim tabs on the elevators, 1 on each one. Most airplanes only have 1 back there. This has 2, so if you want to retrim, by all means, go ahead and do so. Just know that if you move the trim a little bit, you're actually moving a lot of area back there. You'll be really sensitive and trim. And something we don't need today, it's 83, I believe, today, 88 tomorrow, but your carburetor heat control?
It's on the right.
Right here.
Saw that.
Forward for cold, back for hot. We'll leave it cold. We'll leave it cold throughout the whole flight. We don't need it. It's forward for cold, yeah. And it's locked in there.
Okay.
The last letter we have is R, run up. We'll do our mag check out by the runway.
And that's this black lever here?
On the left, yeah. So here's the safety talk I have to give you.
Okay.
Tailwheel plane. brakes are a horrible thing.
Yes.
So the idea is you always want your heels on the floorboard. It's actually got really good steering capability. And the game that we try and play is see if we could never have to use the brakes. Because if you do, other than the run up, we done already messed up.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this left-hand turn. The tail wheel's turned backwards. Let me get it steerable for you,
Okay,
then I'm going to give it to you.
take my feet off the, you have the foot control.
Yeah. Let me just run this turn here. There we go. Ryan, airplane is yours.
Okay, and we're going over this way?
Yeah, you see those little green signs that say danger to your left?
Yeah.
Over there. And
are we using brakes to turn?
no,
too? No.
it's going to be different now. The
Just
tail wheel
sensitive.
wasn't straight yet, so it'll be much
gotcha.
better, a little easier now to
I'm
get the
still not
airplane to
turning.
turn. Yeah, we do not have taxiways here at Fantasy of Flight, so head on out between these signs, go to our main runway, then we'll make a right-hand turn.
Here.
To the left, go to the left. There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead and add some power. There you go. That's good right there. And straight on out. There is a lag, as you can see, to the turning. Because behind me there's these things called walking beams, is what they're actually called. And they're on springs. So the tail wheel steering cable is on a spring. So that's why you're it's like a dampener.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and make a right-hand turn here. And then we'll go down to the windsock.
Okay.
Right past the windsock, we'll make another right-hand turn. We'll go to the end. You can see your wind right now is out of the southeast.
Is this enough power, or should I be going more?
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
First grass field experience, too.
Is that right? That's cool. You picked a good day to come out here. They're having a party out here at Fantasy of Flight. You can kind of see some of his stuff that doesn't get out much.
Does that belong to them on the left, too?
Yeah, he owns all that stuff, one guy.
Wow.
And he flies it all, too.
It's all still airworthy?
Most of it. That white airplane, he flew it over from England back. It hasn't been flown since '88, so it's been on the ground for 20 years. It's the English equivalent of our PBY. It was a submarine hunting airplane.
And we're going to make it right
Making
after
a right,
this
yep.
white beacon zero.
Exactly, yes.
Guess we can't scrub the takeoff. There's water at the end.
Exactly. Well, there's water at the end both ways.
Oh, yeah. There are trees there, too. Okay, center, I would assume?
Center, but here's the thing. Since we can do this, let's do some S turns. So keep on going. I'll show you how to do this.
Okay.
This is how. Just stay with me on the controls. And so
All
the
right.
idea is you can't see over the nose, and so what you do is you go a little bit to the right, and
I
then you
remember doing
exactly
that.
hang your head over the
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
back to the left, and then you hang your head out over the right. The airplane is yours. Now here's the deal. This runway that we're on, 100 feet wide.
Okay.
So, and we really can't. We can hit stuff, but most runways are more narrow than this. Most all taxiways are way more narrow than this. So this is a good area to gain some experience, because you don't want to go too far at the local municipal airport and take out lights and stuff with the wheels. They don't like that so much. There you go. We'll go all the way to the end, and then we'll do a 180.
Okay.
I live like 3 miles from Sun and Fun, from the Lakeland Airport. I don't even get over there. I'm out here all week long.
Yeah. Have you been before?
Oh yeah, years. I used to fly that brown airplane and doing rides over there. They used to have a grass strip, so I did that
Yeah,
for like.
they still do. They just use it for the light sport, yeah.
Yeah. No, they had a different grass strip. It was right,
different.
but yeah, it was parallel to the main runway. It was
Oh,
just,
yeah, I
just
saw that
for
one on the map, too, yeah.
the biplanes.
Okay, you want me to go to the right?
You
and
go
turn to the
all,
left?
yeah, whatever. Go all the way through.
All the way through the
all the way
beacons?
through the beacons,
Okay.
and then we'll make a 180.
Okay, and guide me through this because I
I
don't want
will.
to overpower it.
Just go ahead. Go all the way to the right. Add some power.
Okay.
All the way to the right. Now tap on the right brake. bit more, a little harder to your right, and then the tail wheel will come around like this. Now, here's what I want you to do, Ryan. Go ahead and line it up with the center line of the runway.
I lost it.
That's okay.
Control.
Go ahead and add some power. Get the tail wheel straight. It'll come around. There we go. It's keep going to your left. There you go. And get it all lined up with what you think is a center line of the runway.
Okay.
And then we'll bring the power to idle. That's about right. Good. Okay. I'm looking at my oil temperature gauge. It's looking fine. So go ahead and bring the stick all the way back to your lap and bring the power on and forward to about 1,300 RPM.
Okay. Is this a takeoff or are we doing?
No, we're doing an engine check.
Okay, so I put on the brakes still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brakes.
Okay.
There you go. If you want, go ahead. The magneto switch is on the left side. Go ahead and switch it to right.
One left.
You'll feel it. That's good. Back to both.
One right.
The left's going to drop a little bit more than the right. Go ahead and do that.
Two left.
That's fine. Back
Two
to both.
right.
And I'm going to bring the carburetor heat to hot. I'll do that for you.
Okay.
And it'll usually drop about 30 RPM, and it did. All right. So the airplane's ready to go. So you can bring the power back to idle. Now I'm looking right now. I'm going to say that we're a little bit cocked off to the right.
Okay.
So go ahead and correct that so you know that when you bring the power forward, she's going to go right down the runway.
Right there.
Somewhere. Okay. So let me talk you through this whole takeoff procedure once again.
Okay.
Now you understand what I mean by looking straight ahead, focusing on infinity. There's your fence right there. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you're going to you're not going to be looking at it, but you're going to be able to see it peripherally. I'm looking over here at, on top of the building. You see the flag, white flag?
Yes.
All right. It looks to me like we have a slight, if anything, right to left crosswind, which is perfect because what's going to happen is as the airplane speeds up going down the runway, remember what I said?
Right rudder.
The tail's going to come off the ground. It's going to want to go to the left. But also what happens is we have a little right to left crosswind, so it's going to want a weather vane to the right. So possibly, if it's our lucky day, those two forces may cancel each other out, so the tail's going to come off the ground. It may track straight down the runway.
Okay.
But when that happens, it's telling you it's ready to fly. So we bring the nose off the ground, get the airplane off the ground, bring the nose up. You lower the nose, gather some airspeed of 75, and then we climb on out. And then we'll bring the power back to 1,800 RPM.
Okay, where should the stick be while we're going down the runway?
You know what? That's a great question. The best thing I can tell you is just kind of let go of the stick because there's not much wind today. So you'll bring the power forward and then grab the stick because it'll be at neutral.
Okay, so it's like that basically?
No, it's going to be right about here.
Okay, gotcha.
That's about neutral right there. What do you think? You ready?
I guess so.
If you're ready, I'm ready.
Sure.
So start bringing the power on in. Let's go fly.
Alrighty. And you're shadowing me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm going to be close by, but I'm going to have you do it. Yeah. There you go. That's straight. Bring the power all the way forward. As long as your heels are on the floorboards, you're going to be in good shape. All the way forward on the throttle. All the way forward. There you go. All right. So here comes the tail.
Okay.
It's ready to go. Bring the nose up. Good. Now gently lower the nose. Lower the nose. Get your 75.
75
miles an hour, and then we start coming on up and bring the power back to 1,800 RPM. Nice job. First takeoff in a Stearman, not a big deal.
Nope.
That's good on the power right there, right there. So if you lower the nose a little bit, we'll climb straight ahead. Now we have a great day to fly. You can see we have a nice horizon. Again, we're going to be in Class G airspace, so it gives us the right just about to do anything we want.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and make a shallow climbing turn to your left. We'll do a 180. So lower that nose for me just a little bit more. Maintain your airspeed.
How many RPM?
1,800. You're good right where you're at.
Airspeed, I mean.
Oh, 75 to 80. Now, Ryan, as you come around, you're going to see the red and white tower here off your left wing. You see it there? That's Polk City. So we don't want to fly over Polk City because we're not going to be high enough. We're going to go around that tower to the right, and that'll keep us away from the town. There you go, and then we'll roll it on out here. Cool. For the heck of it, let's go ahead and try a right-hand turn. And you'll notice on a right-hand turn, you're going to have to use a little right rudder. The rudder is so big in this Stearman that you don't have to use a lot of right rudder, just a little bit of right rudder. Good. Go ahead and roll the wings back to level here. Cool. And Ryan, where we're going to be going today, out here to the northwest, if you look out there, that grassy area, let's make a left-hand turn, we'll head on out that way.
That big patch?
Yep. Great place to fly, if you ever had to land.
I agree.
Pick your poison. Perfect, we'll roll the wings to level right about here. And we'll continue to climb and we'll level off at about 1,000 feet. Bring that nose up a little bit more for me so we keep the RPM out of the 1900 range.
Okay. And how many feet, I'm sorry, 1900?
1,000 feet.
1,000.
1,800 RPM on the climb and 1,000 feet.
Okay.
And we'll level off here and then we'll bring the power back to 1750. Now you see that road off your right wing?
Yeah.
That's north-south. Let's make a right-hand turn. Let's go to the north.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not an FAA examiner. I'm not. So if you go up or down, I do not care.
Okay.
I do. Have fun. I don't care about any of that stuff. In fact, the lower you go, for me, sometimes it's better. All right, well, roll it on out here. Back to your left. You don't have to be over the top of it, just fly north.
Okay.
And then out here, if you look over here, Ryan, everything out in this field area, it's all laid out north-south, north-south, east-west section lines. You can see a fence line up there that's east and west.
Okay.
There's a fence line right here that's north-south. They're all over the place, so you can look over the side and see which direction we're going.
Okay.
Let's make a left-hand turn. We'll go back out to the west. And right now, Southern Fun is having their air show.
Okay.
So we don't really have to worry about aircraft descending on into Sun and Fun. Plus, it's Friday, so most of the airplanes, if they're going to be there, they're already there.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll roll the wings back to level here. All right. Cool. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll start into our little song and dance here. Again, focus in on those wires that are right ahead of you. Right now, you're just about going to the west.
Okay.
Let's do a 360-degree turn to your right. 45-degree angle of bank. So put that right wire parallel with the horizon and a little bit above the horizon. That'll be a level turn in the sky. There you go. Cool. So how easy would this be? You got a Stearman and you want to get your private pilot's license. You got that 45-degree angle of bank wire right ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you have all these section lines down below you so you can figure out which way you're flying. Man, it'd be perfect. That's 180 degrees. Keep it going right. We'll finish up with a 360. $270 degrees is there. And Ryan, right here, you got your section line right there. Or if you look over the nose, there's a big landfill. You can't really see it. It's kind of hazy
I just
today.
kind of use that area as a landmark where we started.
Good. Let's try one of those to your left. Same deal.
All right.
But this one will be easier. No rudder at all. Perfect. Now you're at a little bit of a disadvantage when you fly the airplane from the front seat because you are just about sitting on the CG of this thing.
Okay.
So you don't really feel the airplane yawing to the left and to the right, so you actually have to rely on looking at that turn and bank indicator. Now when you fly the airplane from back here, my body becomes that little black ball. And now you can really feel the airplane yawing left and right, so you can actually react a little bit quicker to it. Cool. We'll roll the wings to level. So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Right next to those wires up there are the struts.
Okay.
Actually, the RPM is looking good for this. Let's do a 360 to your right.
Want me to go up to 1,000 again?
No,
All right.
we're fine.
360 to the right.
360 right, 60-degree angle of bank.
All right.
There's 45. There's 60. Cool. Good. Look how much quicker this thing turns when it has 15 degrees more angle of bank. 270 is here. 360 is here. Good. Let's try one of those to your left. 360 left, 60-degree angle of bank. Now, when you progress with your license and you want to get your commercial license, this is one of the maneuvers they want you to do, which is pretty simple, except for it's plus or minus 50 feet, which is not much.
Yeah.
Good, we'll roll it on out here. Great job. And you did a great job maintaining altitude on that.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's make a right-hand turn, Ryan. We'll go up here to the north. We'll get away from these houses right ahead of you. Having a good time?
Yes, sir.
It's pretty sensitive on the controls, you know, but it takes some get used to. But the ailerons certainly are not as light on the ground as they are in the air. I'm sorry, not as light in the air as they are on the ground. Okay, the Lazy 8. You did one in the Citabria. Here's the key on this thing. The shallower your angle of bank that you start with, the better the maneuver is going to be.
Okay.
Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come on the controls with you. Let me just do half of a Lazy 8 together so you can kind of pick it up real quick.
Okay.
Just stay with me. So the idea is we're in level flight. We're at 900 feet, close enough. We're going 85, 90, that's fine. 10 degrees right there. I'm going to guess that's 10 degrees.
Okay.
Then we're going to bring the nose up in a climbing turn. Now freeze the stick right here.
Okay.
Don't move the stick other than adjusting for turbulence. There's not much today. You can hear the RPM decrease as it goes uphill. She slows down on her own. We didn't do any of that. Gravity did all that for you. Now listen to it. There's 90, there's 100. We're going to roll it to your right. There's 110, 115. And we're going the other direction. So it's a 180-degree turn with a little bit of pitch involved.
Okay.
Pretty simple. And we're trying to listen to the airplane slow down and speed up. Go ahead and lower the nose to level flight. The airplane is yours.
Okay.
Let's have you try one to your left by yourself.
All right, so I'm going to pull,
So
pull back just a little
10
bit.
degrees. Stick to neutral. Bring the nose up.
Okay.
Up some more. Freeze it right there. Now listen to it. You can hear the RPM decreaser, 1700 RPM. Here comes the nose on its own. Now listen to it. There's 85, there's 1800 RPM, there's 100, there's 1830, 50. Bring the nose back to the right. Level flight. Cool. And the idea is if you're flying a P-51 or a Corsair in World War II, when you have to look at gauges to know what your Corsair is doing, and you're in a dogfight, you're dead.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, the idea is you got to know what it's doing by sound. Good. Let's try one of those to your right. Now the only difference here is add a little right rudder over the top. So a shallow turn, bring the nose up. Up some more. Hold it right there. Now as she slows down, the nose is being pulled to the left, so you got to push on that right rudder. Right rudder, more, more. Let that nose come through. Good. There's 90, 95. Start rolling it back to your right. Bring the nose up. I'm sorry, back to your left and bring the nose up. So it's the same gig, same deal. The only difference is you have to use rudder. Awesome. All right, Ryan, let's try one of those to the right. Okay. Followed by one of those to the left. No stopping in between the two this time. There's no one around you. Let's try it. So a shallow turn, bring the nose up. Up some more, up. Hold it right there. Start pushing on that right rudder. Good. Listen to it. There's 80, 85, 90. Start rolling it to your left. You're going to pull maybe 2 G's or so on the bottom end. Bring the nose on up. Up you go. Up some more. Hold it right there. Awesome. And then back to your right. Bring the nose on up. And that's a Lazy 8 all by yourself. Sweet. So the more of those you do, the more comfortable you become in doing them, and the steeper you can do them. It's actually it's a fun thing. Hey, so what do you think so far? Does it fly like you thought it was going to fly? Is it better? Is it worse?
I was kind of indifferent. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's definitely fun to fly.
Fun to fly, yeah. You know, the whole open cockpit gig is pretty cool when it's warm.
Oh, yeah.
And it's certainly warm today. Let's make a 180 left or right, your choice. Now, when I got my private pilot's license, the thing I didn't like about flying, I loved flying, but the thing that was the worst was maybe going into Class D airspace. I didn't like doing that. And the other thing was stalls. I definitely did not like doing that in a Cessna.
Class D Delta or B Bravo?
I'm sorry?
Which class airspace?
Delta,
Okay.
going into a tower. I never would like to
That's all
really
I
do
fly
that.
out of, so that's all I'm used to.
Yeah, you're used to it. So go ahead and reach over with your left hand. Bring the power back to about 1,300 RPM.
Okay. Low flag.
There you go. Now, that's fine. Just disregard the instruments. Just look back, fly the plane. So gently lower the nose. Put it into a shallow descent. Bring the power back a little bit more. Go ahead and lower the nose some more. Lower some more. More. Tell me when you can hear the whistle of the wind in the wires. Can you hear that whistle?
Right there, yeah.
All right, so bring it to level flight. Now listen to it. Start bring the nose up. You can hear it slow down. Bring the nose up some more. Up some more. Up. Remember, when it stalls, don't push the stick bar. Bring the nose up some more.
Okay.
Up some more. Up some more. All right, so here's your stall here. Let the nose come through. Don't bring the stick back.
Okay.
Let it speed up going downhill.
Gotcha.
More airflow goes over. Yeah, and the nose comes right back up to level flight. Good.
Okay.
Bring the power back in.
Up to 17?
Yeah, 1,800. We'll climb back up. So as long as you freeze the stick, and when it stalls, it'll speed up going downhill, and the nose will come right back up. Now you notice that when it stalled, it didn't have any tendency to fall off on a wing or do anything kind of crazy like some of the flight school Cessnas do. It's very, very honest and stalls straight ahead. Great trainer. Yeah, we'll climb back up to altitude here. While we're here and we have the power setting the way it is, let's go ahead and do a power on stall. We're back here coming up on 1,000 feet.
Alrighty.
Leave the power right there, add a little right rudder, keep that ball in the middle. There you go, bring the nose up. That's good right there, Ryan. If you look out on your wingtips, you're going up at what, 40 degrees or so? Bring that nose up a little bit more. You're gonna feel the stick kind of shake around. It's moving around, I can actually see it buffeting. And here's your power on stall. You're right on the stall right there. Look what it just did. So it's going back basically to level flight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not a big deal. Remember, it's a trainer.
Yeah.
Let's do a 180 to the left or to the right, your choice. And you can start bringing the power back. Just bring it back basically to idle. Cool. This is awesome. I love this. Now, roll it on out here. This is good. Start bringing the nose up. Right above the stall, you'll start smelling exhaust fumes coming into the cockpit. Bring the nose up some more. You obviously can smell that. I can smell that. You're right on the, listen how quiet it is. And there's your stall right there. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
It's really nice. Bring the power back in. That's why people love flying Stearmans. They're docile, they're slow, they're not going to do anything that you would not expect them to do. It's a baby carriage, really.
Yeah.
The bad thing is it burns 12 gallons of fuel an hour and goes 85 miles an hour and holds 2 people.
Right.
And this is plenty high. You don't have to go up any higher. And Ryan, you're doing really good. And I sense that you're comfortable in the airplane, and that was what our goal was. So we have plenty of time here to have some fun.
Cool.
So whatever else you like to do, if you want to do some more lazy A's, that's fine. If you want to slide around, explore turns, whatever you like to do. And you can bring the power back to about 1750.
Okay.
There you go. Not so loud. So you can kind of see after flying this thing for a short period of time, you're a licensed pilot, so you kind of get it. But again, you'd have to fly the airplane by yourself in between 8 and 12 hours of instruction. You can see how that was possible.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like you learn how to fly it, which is 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And then they spent the rest of the 4 or 5 hours learning how to land it, because it's not exactly the easiest thing to land, especially in a crosswind. Did you like that turn, the steep turns?
Yeah,
Let's try this. Let's see if you can do that. I have an air show smoke. If you look out the right side of the airplane, that's what the smoke looks like.
Okay.
Let's do a 360 to your left. Don't look at the instruments. You can pick the angle that you want. If you make a level turn in the sky, you should fly right through your smoke.
So level turn in the sky.
Level turn in the sky, yep.
360?
360,
All right, here we
whenever
go.
you're ready, let's do it. Smoke on now. There's your marker there. Let's see what we got. Because pretty much there's really not a lot of thermal activity today.
Yeah, I was going to say still.
So you should be able to knock this one out. Very good. You can't, now your smoke is right ahead of you. It's a little above you. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
I think the smoke rose because you're still at 1,000 feet. Let's try one to your right. Same thing to your right, little right rudder, smoke on now. There's your marker. Around we go. We're at 1,000 feet, a little less maybe. This is right on the money right here, man. Perfect, great job. Keep going to your right. Your smoke is right off your right wing. You're gonna go right through it. You'll see it here in a sec. You see it there? Off your right.
Yep.
Kind of dissipating. Good. Right off your right wing. You gained or lost 0. Awesome. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Let's try another lazy 8.
All right. 10 degrees.
10 degrees. Yep. And then bring the nose up.
Bring the nose up.
Hold it right there. Let that nose come on through on her own. She's speeding up. Good. Start rolling it to your right. 10 degrees. Up you go. And then start easing on that right rudder. Here you go. Just like that. Good. So at this point, you understand what I mean by listening to it, because you can definitely hear, like right now, you're going to 120 almost, and you can really hear the whistle of the wind in the wires. Have you ever done an accelerated stall before?
Explain, isn't that, well, no, that's power on. Describe it, maybe.
Well, in level flight, actually, let's just do it. Just bring the power to idle.
Okay.
Just real slow. There you go. Now, this time when you stall it, I want you
Lower
to,
power?
all the way to idle,
Okay.
all the way back. Now, you're in level flight. So bring the nose up. When it stalls, glance at your airspeed indicator and tell me what it stalls at. Come on back some more. Come on back. Come on back. You'll feel it. So what do you got, about 55 or so?
Right at, yeah, 50 or 60 right now.
All right, so it's stalled right now. There it goes. All right, so 60 miles an hour, 55, 60. Okay. So bring the power back in. So as we learned in flight school, or in the manual, you know, a lot of people don't do this, but the steeper your angle of bank, the higher your stall speed, right?
Right.
And so let's see what the airplane stall speed is at a 60-degree angle of bank.
60.
And 60. So go, take it back to 60. No, I'm sorry. Power at 1750.
Okay, 1750 power.
There you go. At 60-degree angle of bank. So start rolling it to your left. Now, when the airplane stalls, a little bit more. Now, don't let it get any steeper than that. Okay. All right, so start bringing the nose up. You'll feel the G forces on the wings. So the more G's, the higher your stall speed. So you just keep glancing at your airspeed indicator. So now we're at 75. Bring the nose up some more. Up some more. Up some more. Feel the G's.
Yep.
Up some more. There's 70. Up some more. It's getting close. Come on back some more. There's your stall. What did it stall at? Did you see?
Yep.
So you notice when it stalled, it kind of did a quarter of a snap roll back to level flight. Again, it's just such a great trainer. It doesn't
Did it do that on its own?
Yeah.
Oh, it almost felt like you were helping.
No. If you want to do it again, what happened is, on that steep angle of bank, the upper right wing and the lower right wing stalled first, and then it started rolling it to the right.
Oh, okay.
So try it again.
All right.
It corrects on its own.
900
So, yeah.
going to 60 degrees.
There you go. I got my hands up, just so you know. I'm not touching anything. So bring the nose up some more. Up some more. You feel the G. There's the G forces. You can feel them. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. There's about 65 miles an hour. You're close to the stall. You can kind of see the stick moving. Come on back some more. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. There it is. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So you can feel the airplane shudder, right? It shudders and then it rolls back to level flight. So let's put it in context. Let's say you're 18 years old, you met a girl in the town that you're doing your flight training at. You go buzz her house, right? And then you're in a climbing turn to your left, and you're looking back behind you to see if she's going to come out or not. And you're not paying attention, and you go to a high or accelerated stall. The airplane will roll back to level flight, as long as you're turning to the left. If you're turning to the right, it'll continue rolling upside down. Kind of a cool thing, though. A lot of times people don't, you read about the stall speed happening at a higher speed with more angle of bank, but you never really experience that. So in the Stearman, it's kind of a cool deal. Pretty cool birthday gift, huh?
I agree.
This is kind of cool. Just go ahead and bring the power back to about 1400.
Okay.
And let's make a descending turn to your left. About a shallow turn. We'll go back to the east. Yeah. Then take me down to about 500 feet.
500. Where are we headed?
Who knows? See these big, this old grassy area out here? Let's go that way. Keep it going to your left. Yeah, we'll go back to the east here.
Okay.
You can see these section lines down here.
This way?
Yeah. And just for the heck of it, let's roll out of this. Let's go back to your right. So we'll do a descending turn to your right. And you can hear the whistle of the wind in the wires, right?
Yep.
Good. Good. We'll roll out of this. Let's go back to your left. Now, as you know, our rule of thumb here is our FAA regulation is we have to stay 500 feet away from any person or property. Just keep on going down. But out here, there's nothing. And part of the fun thing about a Stearman is kind of flying it around down low. Most people don't have an opportunity to do that. Let's make another right-hand turn around. We'll go this way. Let's head out that way. We'll stay away from yeah, we'll stay away from Don Jones's house. He owns all this land out here, and we'll stay away from this barn here. We'll go this way, and let's go down. Let's go down to 400 feet.
400.
Yeah, why not? If we had to make an emergency landing, you know.
We've already almost there.
Yeah. There's a nice little field off your left. I've actually landed in this where these cows are in front of the farmhouse and sold rides with the other plane.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
You know the people, I assume?
Yeah, they actually asked me if I could bring it out there for a big party that they were having.
Oh, cool.
So it was old-fashioned barnstorming.
Yeah,
okay, so cool. So right now we're down here near 400 feet. Enjoy the view. You don't get to do this too often in an open cockpit plane. Flying is supposed to be fun. There we go. Good. Well, I'm hopeful that you've enjoyed yourself here so far thus far today. Now, as we're down here low, if you look about 2 o'clock and about 5 miles, do you see Fantasy of Flight?
Yeah.
All right. We'll make a right-hand turn. We'll head over towards that. Let's go back up a little higher. I'm going to actually have you land the thing today.
Oh, wow.
On that same grass runway. It's right down the runway just about, so that's cool.
Are we aimed at the runway right now?
We're just about going right to it.
Okay.
We're going to shoot basically a straight in.
Okay. What, stay at this altitude?
Let's go up to like 700 or 800 feet because we're going to have to fly over the town on approach, so we'll get up a little higher here. That's good on the power there. It'll climb.
Alrighty.
With you and me in this thing, it's not that hot today, but it's going to give us at about 400 feet per minute rate of climb is all it's going to give us. It doesn't climb that good, but again, remember what it's for. It's a trainer.
Right.
Now here's the key on the approach. If you're a little bit on the high side on the approach, that's actually a good thing. Because if you chop the power with this thing, it literally comes down to like 1,200 feet a minute. It's like a 182 at full flaps. It really comes down fast. If you drag the airplane in low with power, you can't see the runway at all. So if you're a little bit on the high side, you actually can lower the nose and see the runway. Right, your runway, there's Fantasy Up right there. You can see the building.
Okay,
and
yeah.
you can see the buildings because that's where your runway is. That little grassy area.
To the right.
To the right. So we'll make a right-hand turn. We'll head right for that. Man, we got a little bird off your right. He should get out of the way. There we go. And then here we are back at 700 feet. We can level off here. That's fine. So the idea is when you land the airplane, you come down, you flare it. We're not, I'm not going to tell you what an airspeed on final, because what I want you to do is listen to it.
Okay.
If you hear a really high-pitched sound, we're going really fast, like 100 miles an hour. If it starts getting pretty quiet, it means we're going slow.
Okay.
So the idea is you get it down in ground effect, and you keep it off the ground as long as you can, and it'll slow down in the air and touch down. Going relatively slow.
What's the aiming point? Center windshield?
If you make it, yeah, it's right for it, right to the right. Good.
No, I meant on the windshield. Is there a good
Oh,
aiming point?
no, I don't know. The idea is you look straight ahead when you flare, and again, just like the takeoff, you focus on infinity, and you pick up the sides of the runway, the early markers. And that's how you can see if you're in the middle. Just keep it up this high, so we're going to go over this town.
Okay.
I heard one guy at one time, he says, I shot a good landing because I lined it up with a cloud.
There's a plane off to our right off the nose, a yellow plane.
Oh, that's a Cub. I don't see him.
He's right up the wing there. He's over the water.
Oh, I see him. Okay, yeah. He's going to land on the water. All right, so there's your runway.
Alrighty.
So line it on up. Once we get over the water, then we're going to bring the power back to about 1,500 RPM.
Should I stay at this attitude?
Yeah, this is good. Why not? You can start bringing the power back now.
That's what I was going to say. It just seems awful high.
It'll start coming down. Look at your vertical speed indicator.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I guess it's like flying with flaps the whole time.
The whole time, yeah. Can't see anything. All right, so we're over the water. If the engine quit us, we probably would make the runway, which is comforting. All right. So now start bringing the power back some more. There you go. Now you can really hear the whistle of the wind in the wires now, right?
Yeah.
Lower that nose some more so that you can see the runway right ahead of you.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold it right there. Good. Airspeed right now is 85. That's fine. The wind's right on your nose. You got it all lined up. Yep. So bring the power back all the way to idle. Airport is made. And this thing starts coming out really fast. And there's your runway right ahead of you. Ryan, just make sure your heels are on the floorboards.
Heels are on the floor.
Perfect. All right, so here we are. So we'll flare the airplane, keep it off the ground, keep it off the ground, keep bringing the nose up, 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 up. There you go. Good. Good. Stick all the way back to your lap, all the way back. Now keep it going straight.
Got a runway marker and runway markers.
Now, here in a second, we're slowing down. We're losing rudder authority.
Okay.
So it's going to start wandering. Watch what it does. Usually it does it. Look at that. You got a P-40, you got a Duck, and you got a Spitfire TBM right there. That's
Where's the
rare.
TBM?
It's that big one sitting with no paint on it. Avenger.
Oh.
Great job. We'll make a right-hand turn. We'll do a 180 on the runway.
Okay. A little bit of brake.
Yeah. Add some power, get it moving, and then a little bit of brake. So the idea is you get the airplane down in ground effect, and we know that the airplane is safe in the air. So if we can bleed off all our extra airspeed in the air and have a touchdown when the stick's all the way back in your lap at a full stall landing, that's what you're looking for. And you know that by just by the sound of it.
We're going to go on the other side of those two white markers.
Yes, and then
right?
we'll make a right-hand turn. We're going to park it right by the C-47.
I figured as much, but I don't know the airport.
Sure. Hey, did you have a good time?
Oh, absolutely.
Good. You did really well in it.
Thank you. How much is it to operate? I know that radial motor can't be...
Yeah, well, here's the bad part. I mean, it's, okay, 12 gallons an hour for fuel. Oil's what, $6?
We're going this way, right?
Yeah, we're going straight. Oil, $6 a quart. And the annuals, I'm a ANPIA, so I do all the maintenance myself.
That saves you a lot of dough.
Yeah, hangar is what, 300 bucks a month down here, and the insurance is 2,000.
That's not horrible, but
not
that
that
includes
bad.
a commercial rating or commercial policy.
Yeah, it's like $2,300, I think.
For a commercial policy, it's not horrible.
And the engine, though, here's a big one. The engine, the TPO on this engine is 1,200 hours.
Ooh.
And
There's a lot of
the
cylinders.
cost of an overhaul is $31,000.
Right?
Yeah, we'll go right
31,000.
31 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive. So like an 0300 on 172 overhaul on that is like 25,000, I think. But you're getting 2,000 hours out of it.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got a gator over here. I think that's a gator.
Oh yeah. Looks like it to me.
Or is that turtle? That's a turtle.
Yeah, it's a turtle on a rock. It kind of looks like a gator, no? From a certain angle.
All right. Very nice. I'll tell you what, Ron, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna take it from here. I'm gonna put this thing right back. I can't get it to where it was, but I can get it pretty close.
You spin it around?
Yeah. I don't want to hit his C-47.
That'd probably be bad.
Be bad. This is fine. So shut her down. Just bring the mixture control all the way back to lean.
Okay.
And add a little bit of throttle. Hold it there. Take that one last deep whiff of 100 octane. Great flight.